Alright everyone, we're down to the final expansion that I'm going to show you for the Resident Evil 2 board game. As I've mentioned, there are more expansions than I have shown, mostly Kickstarter ones. There's the Giant Alligator, there's Murder from Above, there's the G Files, or the whatever it's called, Malformations of G, and potentially more. Those are mostly Kickstarter exclusive and really hard to find, which is why I don't have them. But today we're going to be looking at the Retro Pack, which is pretty unique in the sense that it doesn't provide any new miniatures, it doesn't provide any new gameplay at all. This pack purely exists to replace elements of the base game and its expansions. So you'll see what I mean. So on the front of the Retro Pack, you can see there is different artwork to the front of the regular Resident Evil 2 board game, and that is because this is actually the European cover of Resident Evil 2. I actually have my copy here, and as you can see, it's exactly the same. So that's why this imagery is here. It's from the original RE2 on PlayStation in Europe. The US version has the original artwork, and by original I mean this artwork. So the US cover art is pretty much this, whereas the European one is pretty much this. Okay, let's have a look at the back. Here's what you can see on the back. The text is actually in sort of like blocky pixely text, which is really funny. It says here, the Retro Pack is for the old school Resident Evil fans out there, recreating each of the cards from Resident Evil 2 the board game and its expansions to match the style of the classic video game release. It also includes a series of additional iconic tiles to customize your play experience. So essentially, we'll have a closer look in a minute, but it has some tiles and it has cards which are used to replace the ones that are in the base game to give you a more retro feel. So it will more closely look like the video game menus and artwork and things like that. So I haven't actually looked at this too in depth. I'm pretty excited to do that, so let's open it up. Okay, first things first, we have the rules booklet. So it's not a very big booklet, there's not a lot to see, but you can see what comes inside. So we have item cards, tension deck, enemy reference, character profiles, we have boss reference cards, trap deck cards, locked door cards, boss behavior cards for loads of bosses, including some that I don't even have. So for example, we have the Giant Alligator boss, so that's pretty cool. We have Birkin stage 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, which is pretty awesome. And then we also have some retro tiles as well. So something that's occurred to me is that for some strange reason, I don't have the retro tiles at all.
Editor Dan here. I did actually find the tiles in the end. They were accidentally inserted in the base game box along with the other tiles, and I only found them when I accidentally used them when I was playing the game the other day. So do not fret, I do have them. Use your imagination. They're just one of each kind of tile with some different artwork on it. Pretty cool.
But anyway, one thing we can look at are the cards, which are a little bit out of order. They were a bit jumbled up in here, but I can give you kind of an idea of what we're looking at here. So for example, if we look at this card, you can see it's a much larger contrast in the color. So it's a black color with blue in the background. This is because this closely matches the original menus in Resident Evil 2, the PlayStation game. So you can just see that this looks much more classic and retro as you would expect. Even got pixelated umbrella logos on the back. But what's interesting is we have cards for everything. So you see the Ivies, Zombified Marvin, the Crows, Giant Moths. I don't even have the miniatures for the Giant Moth because they're from the Murder from Above expansion. So it's pretty cool, really, that you essentially get cards for everything, even things that you don't necessarily own. You even got Hunk and some tofu there, and then we've got these replacement cards here. So I personally quite like these ones. I probably prefer them over the original cards just in how they look, but maybe that's just because I'm old. We also have some retro equipment. So we've got bombs, handgun, what else we got, knife, sewer manager's key, first aid spray, handgun bullets, essentially every possible item that you could have in the board game, but in retro form. So there's not really much else that I can show you on this one because I don't have the tiles, so really sorry about that. I'm not entirely sure how I screwed that one up, but anyway, That is the retro pack. It's pretty cool. I don't think it's necessary at all because it's just replacing elements from the other expansions and the base game, but if you prefer the look of these cards, then this is probably worth picking up. But that is everything from Resident Evil 2, so in the following videos I'm going to be going over the Resident Evil 3 board game, which I have even less experience with, funny enough, so look forward to that, and I'll catch you on another video soon. Take care.